Welcome to the Vet with Pets podcast. I'm Elliot.
And I'm Becky.
We've not got a great deal planned this morning. I keep saying we need to get more guests lined up. And I have messaged another couple of podcasts for us to go on there and talk. So, we'll see. Yeah, neither of them have got back to me yet, but I'm sure they will do at some point.
Everybody's busy.
Everyone's busy. Yeah. Set up my phone so I can see it in case it rings. So, we've got some Swift stuff to talk about, haven't we? And some more Oona the Puffin content to update everyone on. And as we said last week, it's just been really, really busy with lots of crazy stuff, hasn't it?
It's just been so weird.
It's been a really mad couple of weeks.
So you've done loads of interviews with different radio stations, and then we've been in all the papers.
Yep.
But people just keep contacting us.
Yes, yeah. Yes, I think I did 3 updates for BBC Hereford and Worcester and 2 updates for Hits Radio. I was on Classic FM.
And then you had to choose a song for Classic FM, didn't you?
Yeah. So they weren't sure that I'd know what to do. They rang me up and we want you to go on the request show. I like how when they published it, actually, it sounded like I had called in to be on the request show. I definitely did not call in to be on the request show. But anyway, so the person who, I can't remember his name, someone called me up. It's like, they want you to pick a song, but don't worry, we can help you with that. I was just like, no, don't worry, we'll go How to Train Your Dragon, Test Drive.
I like how they just didn't think.
I'd know any sort of music that would be appropriate for Classic FM. I was like, no, I do listen to it. I quite often listen to it on the way into work. If I don't want to, if I'm going to be listening to people all day, then I just listen to Classic FM.
If it's not Greg James, it's Classic FM.
Yeah. Or podcasts. I listen to quite a lot of other podcasts nowadays. But I need some podcast suggestions, actually, because I feel like there's 3 main ones that I follow, and I'm all up to date with them.
Oh, okay.
And because I do at least an hour of driving a day, I need some other podcasts to keep me entertained because they're not releasing them enough.
Whereas I listen to the celebrity podcasts and history ones I tend to listen to as well. I quite like them. There's the guy from the Horrible Histories that does a BBC one for adults on the podcast. That's really good.
I do like history.
And then I've been listening to one called History's Heroes as well, which is just normal people who have changed the way that a war goes or something like that. Or that's really good as well.
Although interestingly, I was I think it came up on social media this morning, so this is by no means fact checked, but it's an interesting concept. Modern day, where we are at the moment, if we had time travel and you could transport people back 200 years, the majority of people would not know enough to make any influence on advanced technology or anything like that. Really? If you transport them back 200 years. And if you think about it, we're sat here with all these microphones and stuff. But,
I don't know how any of it works.
You get transported back and be like, so what do we do now?
I could do some wound care, I reckon, with just the old stuff
medicine,
that they
I
have.
reckon you could probably bring forwards to some extent.
Yeah.
But, no.
Yeah, wound care and fracture.
Would we actually
But we wouldn't know how to make an anaesthetic or anything like that, would we? We'd know we had it, but we wouldn't know how to make one.
Yeah. Which is an interesting thought, really, isn't it?
That's really sad as well. You'd want to make difference, but you can't.
I know all this stuff can exist. Just give me 200 years and I'll figure it out. No, interesting concept. But maybe I'll try some history ones then.
That's the answer.
Anyway, I'm going to start feeding the Swift. So we've currently got Sharon the Swift in our care. Swifts are, without doubt, my least favourite wildlife to look after.
I think they're my second least because the gulls are just so messy and so dirty. I love them and they're easy to feed. And
they want to survive.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Swifts want to die.
Yeah.
A bit like we said last time with Oona the Puffin, she really wanted to survive.
Yeah.
Where Swifts would just really rather if you left them alone and they died.
Yeah, because most baby birds will just they'll ask for food and take it off you really easily, whereas the Swifts, they just...
Although I did put a Facebook video on this morning. She was sort of... Thank you. She's sort of trying to beg for food.
But then she just gets angry. And if you get any of the little stuff, the bran that's in the wax worm...
That's her squeaking away. Emily reckons it sounds like about 5 birds making the noise.
Yeah, it does.
Whereas that is just one swift. So she does that when she's hungry.
But that is incredibly quiet compared to, say, the blackbird that we had in.
Yeah.
They just don't really put up too much of a fuss.
Well, I suppose because they're cavity nesting.
Yeah.
Well, not is it classed as cavity nesting? I'm not sure, but anyway, they nest in like holes effectively.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that, like, where did swifts nest before? Actually, maybe you've got a fact on this.
Yeah, they make it out of mud.
Well, no, they didn't. The swifts don't.
Oh, don't they? I
No.
thought the swifts made.
No,
Was that
no.
swallows then?
House martins and swallows make nests out of mud. Swifts don't. They'll collect a few feathers, I believe,
Oh, so they need
on
an
the
actual
wing.
hole. To...
Yeah, so they use sort of like the eaves of buildings and that sort of thing. So they don't really land. They just like zoom straight into the hole. And then straight into like the cavity where they will lay and then rear their young.
I suppose they would have needed cliffs or rotten trees.
But even, some of them do still nest in trees. I believe on the continent, I think there are effectively colonies of swifts which do still nest in trees, like tree cavities.
That would have been oak a lot, and we don't have as much oak as
we don't have that mature woodland, do we?
No, because
but
they
then we
rot
do.
for a
But then
long
we do
time.
have buildings with lots of eaves and holes that they can go in.
But I suppose there's been barns for a long time.
Swallow that one down. So I'm pushing
so they
it.
have like a little pouch at the back of their mouth that they normally store it in before they
I think that's gonna
swallow it. And the problem is that if they get too upset or you give them too many or a little bit of the bran out of the box goes in there, then they just regurgitate them all up again. And they won't just regurgitate the one that they don't like, everything will just come back up.
The only thing I would say is they are clean.
Yes.
Like
their little poos are like a little parcel.
Yeah, like she comes out of her little sort of nesty bit to do her poo.
And the
whereas
poo
most
isn't
baby birds
soggy.
just like plop it out because they're expecting the parent birds to take it away.
And it's like in a little sack. It doesn't make any mess, does it? You can just pick it up and take it out.
Maybe do you know what? Let's try and track down a swift expert, shall we?
Oh yeah, that
would be really
really
interesting.
Like that.
Okay, let's do that. There must be someone who can come on. So if you know a swift expert, let us know. We'll get them on. But I wonder if they're clean in the nest because disinfect my hands really.
Because they're in a little.
Yeah, well, it
would get really dirty really quickly, wouldn't it, if they're in a little cavity?
Your passerine type birds, like your sort of, I don't know, your finches and that sort of thing. I'll put soap in my hand.
You are tired.
So most of your passerine birds, they will, the parents will take the poo away. Whereas I presume with swifts, because actually the parents infrequently come to the nest cavity, they're not there when the poo's done, I guess. And so they just pop it out of the nest. And
that was one of the things I did read, is that they don't feed as frequently because the parents have got that mouth pouch, so they can gather up lots and lots of food, and rather than taking one insect at a time back to them, they can regurgitate a
well, they create like a little like sticky ball of food, so then they can just plop into the baby's mouth.
It's crazy. And that's why us feeding a waxworm is a lot different. But it's the closest thing that we can get to it. But I did read that they should have about 15 grams of waxworms a day, and that's one whole pot.
Yeah. Well, the swift herself yesterday morning was only 38 grams. No, yesterday afternoon that was 38 grams. I haven't weighed it yet today.
And then she has to weigh, and she has to eat 15 grams a day to.
I don't know. That seems mad.
It's just mad.
But I suppose at this age they've got so much feather growing to do, like those long primary feathers.
Yeah, they need it.
So, yeah.
But that poor parent, I think, because if they've got 4 or 5, do they have a
No,
few
I think they only have 1 or 2.
No, but even 2, that's a lot, isn't it, to carry? And then they've got to feed themselves as well.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So yes, I have got some swift questions.
Okay, go on then.
We thought it would be a good idea to do like a bit of a comparison between Taylor Swift and a Swift, and Elliot has to try and
guess.
work out
Taylor
right
versus
answer.
Swift.
Yeah. Are you a Taylor Swift fan?
Do I look like a Taylor Swift fan?
I don't know.
I'm not.
quite like Taylor Swift.
Oh, no, I
Do you like
would
her
listen.
music?
Yeah, no, I think some of it's all right.
Yeah.
The kids like dancing around
I'm not
to
a
it.
big fan, but
I wouldn't
like
call
the music.
myself a fan.
No. I'd go to
But
a
there's not very
concert.
many things to call myself a fan of, to be fair.
Right. So the average swift lives 5 years in the wild. They have been known to live 21 if they're in captivity.
Then how can you keep them in captivity? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
I don't know. But it did
Because
say
you
that
wouldn't be
18
able
to 21 years, so I don't know.
But then do people just keep crawling around and feed them?
Feed them, I don't
dread.
know. Don't think
Anyway,
about it.
we'll talk about my future projects in a
don't
minute.
think
That'll bring
about
us on to that.
So the average swift lives 5 years. In this time, do they fly further than Taylor Swift did in 2024 in a whole year?
So in the 5-year lifespan of the Swift,
Yeah, and 1 year of
compared
Taylor
to 1 year.
Swift flying a private jet.
I'm going to say the Swifts must fly further, surely.
So, no, Taylor Swift did 92,000 miles, they say, in 2024.
92,000 miles?
And the Swift does about 14,000 a year. So, and times 5, that's 70,000. So it's close, but
that's
crazy,
mad.
isn't it? That's a lot of travelling.
I can't believe
miles.
people blame cows burping on destroying the environment, and then you've got people like that.
Just travelling everywhere.
Mm.
Then, who's had the most boyfriends? A Swift in its lifetime, or the ones that have been publicly...
that's Taylor Swift would have more.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it is. And it's not just because that, it's because a Swift only has one. They mate for life. So even though they've travelled all that way...
They'll come back to the same site.
They come back and find the same partners. They travel all the way to Africa, all the way back, and still find the same partner.
That is amazing.
It's great. So that one will travel and find a partner. And
that is mad.
See, because I've written some down, can you name any of Taylor Swift's boyfriends?
No.
None?
No, I wouldn't even know.
Really? Because one of them's someone you like, in a film, an actor. Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have been able
Swift.
to. No.
Harry Styles. You didn't know she dated Harry Styles?
Well, now you're saying them, but I don't need to retain that information, do I?
I suppose. Right, Swifts have got 8 toes. Is this more or less than the number of Grammys Taylor Swift's won?
More.
No, because she's beaten them just by 1.
Okay.
She's got 9 Grammys, and they've got 8 toes. What breeds of cat does Taylor Swift own?
Scottish Fold.
Yeah, there's one more.
What's something to do with a Swift? Oh.
No, she's got another breed of cat.
Oh, probably a Maine Coon or something like that.
A ragdoll.
Oh, close.
So she's got 2 Scottish Folds called Meredith Grey and Olivia Benson, and she's got a ragdoll called Benjamin Button after the film.
Fair enough, yeah.
So we probably should mention the Scottish Folds. And
yes, no, we'd name drop them.
It is one of my bugbears because I do.
That's why you've slipped it in.
I do quite like Taylor Swift, but I think please don't photograph yourself with the Scottish Fold cat.
So Scottish Fold cats, they are cats which have a cartilage deformity, which means that their ears are folded over, which people think makes them look cute. But that same cartilage deformity will affect all of the cartilage in the body, and cartilage is what makes up your joint surfaces. So every joint you've got, whether it be your fingers, your knees, hips, whatever, all rely on cartilage. So if the cat has a cartilage deformity, it will get issues with its cartilage and its joints in its life. Now, if you breed a Scottish Fold cat to another Scottish Fold cat, and then they're what's called homozygous, so they've got 2 copies of that gene in their body, if they've got 2 copies of that gene, the arthritis will be very early onset. And I have seen at least 2 off the top of my head before that have had arthritis at less than a year of age.
It's so sad,
yeah.
Isn't it?
And then
it's
we're
really
looking
painful as well,
and then we're looking
it?
at euthanizing those animals at a very young age. So yeah, I think even when people try and ethically breed these animals, really I'd question what is the point.
Yeah.
If you're breeding something you know is going to have issues, but then a bit like pugs and French bulldogs and whatever else, you're breeding animals that you know are going to have problems.
Just for what they look
just
like.
For what they look like.
For any benefit to them.
No.
Whereas the ragdolls are a pretty good breed.
They're just a bit
I've got
thick.
2 myself. They're just silly, and they need a lot of brushing. And
there's nothing that's going to compromise their welfare. So,
no.
Yeah.
So then the next question. Are there more types of Swift and Swiftlets, because they're in the same family, and Swiftlets are really cute, I've looked them up, than songs Taylor Swift has released? Now, you might not know, but she's re-released some of her albums because she's re-recorded them.
So are we including the re-releases?
No, they're counted as one.
Okay.
So the Taylor's version is included in the original song.
Okay. Even so, I'm going to say there's more Taylor Swift songs than there are Swifts or Swiftlets.
You're right.
Yeah.
So Taylor Swift songs, there's 274.
274?
Yeah, 274. Yeah. And
that's
then
mad.
There's
probably
110 types of
110?
Swift. I know.
Oh, I would have thought it'd been way less than that.
Yeah, and maybe. No, 110. And then the ones that we get in the UK, so the one we're talking about is the common Swift.
Yes.
But also occasional visitors, you get the pallid Swift, the Pacific Swift, and the white-rumped Swift in the UK now and again. So.
I knew about the white rump Swift, didn't know about the other ones.
So, yeah, there's 4 different families of swifts and swiftlets.
Interesting.
Then the last one was Cruel Summer, the Taylor Swift song, in the UK top 40 for more weeks than a Swift spends in the UK?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. It was in 71 weeks, it was in the top 40, the Taylor Swift song. And Swift spend about 5 months, so 20 weeks in there. So that's my Taylor Swift quiz.
That was interesting, to be fair. Sure, people would have turned off by now, but you know.
I don't know. There's a lot of Taylor Swift songs.
Okay. Maybe we'll just name this podcast Taylor versus Swift then.
Yeah, they'll get some more listeners.
They might be disappointed.
Oh, they are cool though, the Swifts.
Yeah,
They've
more
got
cool than Taylor Swift.
That'll upset
True or
some
false?
people.
True.
I love their little feet, 'cause they've got little furry feet.
I just think the fact that, aside from when they're breeding, the common Swift at least will spend the majority of their lives on the wing.
Yeah, it said 140,000 miles they'll fly in 2.5 years, I think it was, just from catching food and being on the wings. So it's a huge amount.
But that doesn't match up with your stat that you gave me a minute ago.
No, but that's just when they're flying to and from, like when they're... So 14,000 miles is what they migrate, but then the little bits of the flying in between catching food.
Okay.
Yeah, someone said it could add up to 140,000 miles in 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So no wonder they only live 5 years.
Yeah, it's
exhausted. And just living on flies and insects and it's mad. And to drink, they get fluid from the insects, but they have to swoop down, don't they, and scoop up a bit of water. And
I don't know how often they do that. I don't know. They probably get the majority from insects.
Unless they're eating.
Because similar species like your house martins and your swallows and things will scoop water and they'll scoop insects off the surface of water, I believe. But swifts, I guess they probably do it, don't they?
Do as well.
Well, Sharon has gone a bit quiet now, so she's gone to sleep.
She's happy.
Hopefully.
She gets a full belly and then goes to sleep.
The most annoying creature.
So we have to feed her about every 2 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I last fed her at like 10 to 9 last night, and I got up slightly later this morning, so she got fed at 6 and then 8, and then I don't know, it's probably like just after 9. You just fed her now, isn't it?
Because if you try and feed them too soon in between, then they regurgitate food.
Yes.
You have to give time for that little pouch to empty before you give it more.
Yeah.
So you have to time it just right.
So talking about wildlife then, should we update on where we got to with Oona? So I think when we last recorded last Sunday, so this
we were hoping that she might be able to be released.
I don't know what date Sunday 6th of July now. So we're hoping that we're going to release her on the Wednesday.
And she was starting to eat whole fish, wasn't she?
Yeah. So she progressed to eating fish really well, but we had concerns over the waterproofing on her feathers, and she was showing no interest in going in her bath.
No.
And the trouble with feeding seabirds in like rescue situations, when you start feeding them, giving chopped up fish, if some of the oil gets on their feather coat, it interferes with the waterproofing. So if you've got a degraded feather waterproofing, if you're just going to put them back out on the sea, they get waterlogged and then they get cold and then they can't survive. So we didn't want to risk that. And I spoke to David at RSPCA West Hatch at length. I think David just likes to chat, so I think most of our conversations have been at length. But yeah, so I spoke to him at length. He's such a fantastic guy.
I love people that are enthusiastic.
Oh, he's so enthusiastic.
Yeah,
so passionate. So decided that actually we transport her down there because they've got pools designed for like oiled birds and that sort of thing. So birds are caught in oil spills. So they've got facilities that allow her to recuperate. So I transported her down there on Wednesday morning. I had an update yesterday to say that she was up to 308 grams and she was eating well. And they had persuaded her to go out on the water by essentially just putting her in an enclosure that was nothing but water.
She really didn't want to go in the water here. I thought she'd bob around on there.
No, it wasn't even interested, was she? No. But no, so I think she's in essentially a swimming pool, probably be about like 10 foot by 10 foot.
Oh, she's quite big.
Yeah, with like a little float in the middle, so she can get out onto the float. But it encourages to go in the water and preen. So
did you get a tour of?
Yes, I had a tour of West Hatch.
Did you see any of the seals? Did they have seals?
They didn't have any seals in at the time, but I saw the seal pools.
Yeah.
Saw all of the oiled birds facilities. They had I think he said about 70 young seagulls. So we saw those. Normally though, he said they have a couple of hundred. So he thinks it's less.
They've all come to Hereford.
They've all come to
that's the
Hereford. We
problem.
have so many. It's ridiculous. He thinks it's less because the bird flu was what they're suspecting. But I don't know, because we've had loads. But
maybe the ones on the coast are picking up the bird flu more, maybe.
Don't know.
And the ones in the city, I don't know.
But, yeah, so they had a bittern in. I didn't get to see the bittern, but that would have been cool. It was a juvenile bittern just wandered in someone's garden, apparently. It was brought down from Wales. And he said he was like, oh, they should really have tried to like find where it had come from and just put it back. But it was a weekend and no one knew where it was from, and so they just brought it down.
So when we fill in our wildlife forms, when someone drops them off, we always try and get the details.
Well, I think they knew exactly where like the garden was, but it's more that they didn't have someone who would have the knowledge to know like where had the bittern come from,
see.
like where were they nesting, sort of thing.
I see.
So bitterns are really quite unusual birds in the UK. They're a relative of the heron. So yes, and then I saw all the rooms for like the smaller species, the baby bird room, which is starting to empty out, and then they're starting to fill up with hedgehogs. Young hedgehogs are entering hedgehog season. Saw the room with pens that they would wash down the oil birds and things, and they've got a whole room with like Belfast sinks in. So when they have an oil spill, they've just got the facilities just wash them all.
I imagine it's like we have at pottery, where you have separate sinks. So for all your equipment that's got lots of clay on, you put it in the first sink, and then when you get that off, and then you move it into the middle sink, and then you put it in the rinse sink.
Yeah,
I can imagine them having a little
maybe. Yeah, I don't know if they go around in like a chain or whether it's just one bird per sink, but yeah, they had like hot water heaters for each one.
Yeah.
With the thermostat, so they can have it set to 40 degrees. Yeah, because it has to be a certain
temperature, doesn't it, to get rid of the oil? I did read that.
And so the birds don't get too cold as well.
Yeah, they don't get cold.
Yes, and then they've got the room with the hot air blowers and that sort of thing, and the heaters and the fans.
Yeah, because they put them in to dry them off.
Yeah. And then I saw the facilities where they've got pens for, it's like a corridor with pens off each side for things like foxes, or I guess maybe badgers when they come in to start their rehab.
Veil as well.
Or larger birds, I guess. And then saw the aviaries outside, and saw the fox pens and the badger pens, and I think they use those or different ones for deer as well. So I didn't see the deer because apparently that one was very stressy.
Yeah.
They didn't have any badgers in at the time in the pens. Interestingly, you said they used to, when they had baby badgers in, just group them together and create their own family group and then release them all.
Okay.
But the trouble was that when they do that, they need to TB test them.
Okay.
And they need to TB test them 3 times to ensure that it's sensitive enough to find it. So bovine TB is really prevalent in wildlife in general. And what they don't want to do is go releasing badgers that could be infected and therefore spread it. But the trouble is when you test 3 times, you increase the sensitivity, so you're more likely to find it.
Yes.
But you also increase what's called the specificity, which means you're more likely to get a false positive,
False positive, yeah.
So you're more likely to find it, but you're also more likely to get a false positive. So he said now what they do is they don't really mix them. So they don't try and create a group. They just rear them and put them back where they've come from, because then they don't need to TB test them. Forgive me, anyone who's listening, if I got that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what David said. Yeah. I don't want to throw shade on them. I think
it's hard with badgers when you put a new group of badgers somewhere, I read as well.
Well, they'd have to find somewhere for them to go.
Yeah, so then they move around more, so then there's more risk. Whereas I suppose if you're putting them back where they were, you're not creating that problem, hopefully.
Yeah. So, lots of interesting chat with David. And David and Barbara, one of his nurses, then assessed Oona. And, hopefully...
Were they excited to see her as well?
Yeah, I think they said they'd never had someone so famous in the Puffin. Never had such a famous patient. And I don't think they get puffins that often.
No, he said to me they didn't see them.
But normally they're out at sea, aren't they? And they only come back for like April to end of July for nesting.
Yeah.
And
well, we should mention that Pembrokeshire Boat Tours have offered us a free boat trip for the team. And the lady there said to me that they rarely even see them ashore there, and they're a 5-minute boat trip from the island where they are. And she said it's really, really rare to see them come ashore. So for it to be this far ashore is just crazy.
Yeah.
So you guys are all going off on...
Yeah, it's very kind of them. So
July, for a little outing.
A couple of weeks are going to go on the boat, hopefully. Yeah. So that'd be cool.
And we've emailed West Hatch, haven't we, to say if there is any chance that Oona is ready, then...
Yeah, although actually I'm not sure I'm going to make those dates work, so I'm going to email them again today just to say I'm keen to be there when she's released, and because I had organised a podcast with the wildlife man there, the photographer. So hopefully I'd be able to do that. And selfishly, somewhat, I want to be filmed releasing her as well. But
it's just cool when we've had her that long.
It'd just be nice to close the
It'd
feedback
just be nice to see her go, won't it?
Yeah.
It's one of the best feelings releasing stuff, though. I remember releasing a barn owl once when I was volunteering at the Birds of Prey Centre, and it was just amazing.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Just seeing them fly off.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people have asked me though, and will there be any follow-up or anything like that? And no, so she'll just be released and we'll never know what happens.
We won't know. Actually,
well, then maybe we should.
PTO got back to me and just said thank you for sort of letting them know, but didn't say anything about ringing her or anything.
No, because did you ask if that was a possibility?
No, I didn't ask if we needed to ring her, but I thought they would just say, "Oh, you need to," or "We're doing this study." But they did say thank you for letting them know, and that it was extremely odd.
Yes,
to be so they've noted it down.
Yeah, interesting. So and then off the back of the whole puffin situation with Oona, for me, it's prompted lots of discussions with wildlife people that we work with and further afield.
We've had in this year as well.
I've had so many. But yes, talking to some of the colleagues down at West Hatch, unfortunately, the RSPCA aren't really equipped to do wildlife calls anymore.
And the Scottish RSPCA aren't doing it either.
No. So they've got some excellent wildlife hospitals, but they're just not. They're not able to go out and deal with them in the field.
So inspectors won't be going out anymore to go and collect wildlife.
And I don't think that's really publicly made.
No, they've told the veterinary team, and when I was at the AZEVN conference, someone from the RSPCA was talking. So what they've done instead is they've made a website with useful information for veterinary teams and rescues of how to deal with wildlife. But they haven't got the funds to do it anymore. And I think between the inspectors, they're not necessarily that happy from what I've read because of the euthanasia side of things, because they're saying they used to go out quite a lot and just euthanize things, and that's where they feel they'll be missed, I think.
Yes.
But then if it's not something big like a deer, it could, any vet practice can euthanize them.
Yes, exactly.
But I think we will see more probably because of that.
Well, I think in Herefordshire that's been the case for quite some time anyway, really. But so I think hopefully I'm just trying to get lots of facts together and look into starting up some sort of... It started a concept as Herefordshire Wildlife Cooperative.
I'm just getting everyone talking about
getting everyone using, sharing facilities, resources, and also like the idea of developing a central phone number so anyone who finds a wild animal can contact just a central number, which then you get directed to someone who has space or is appropriate to deal with that species, or just a central number to give out advice, triage advice if it's night time.
Well, especially with the gulls we've got at the moment, some of them could just be left. The baby gulls could be left where they are.
Yes.
And I think we're getting quite a percentage through that didn't need to be removed.
Exactly.
We have got some that are really ill and we need to see, but someone just to give that advice would be good. And then we also said, didn't we, if there's like nestlings, like we had a blackbird this week, so if someone has already got one, it would be best for that wildlife rehabber to have another 2 or 3 rather than each rehabber having one.
It
would just make things easier for everybody and better for the birds because they've got a nest of other birds.
But also, I mean, you mentioned the idea of a swift in captivity living 20 years or something. Like, I don't see how you can ethically keep a swift in captivity. And more over the years I've come across situations where there's people that are inappropriately keeping species of wildlife in captivity where their welfare needs aren't met or they're in chronic pain. And what I'd also like to develop is some sort of ethical code of conduct and an ethical review committee. So an ethical code of conduct, the idea being that if you've got someone who is doing wildlife rescue, you've got this voluntary code, well, initially start off voluntary at least, voluntary code that this is how we deal with things, this is at what point we'd euthanize, and discuss like case scenarios. And then an independent ethical review committee, independent of those rescues, so that if you then have an animal that those slip through the net, a bit like Jack, my magpie, and a bit like the jackdaws that I've ended up with, inherited from Chris the Birdman, animals that it's looking likely that they're not going to be able to go back to the wild, despite that being the initial intention. And then what do you do with them?
Yeah.
Because there's certainly some, and I'm very aware there's some wild animals out there that, in my opinion, would be in chronic pain.
Yeah.
And an example is a bird, like an adult wild bird that's coming with a broken wing that then can't be released. And you think, well, actually, that's euthanasia, really.
Yeah.
If its wing is dropped and it's never going to fly again, it's
can't
not
perform normal
appropriate.
behaviours.
No, you can't fulfill its welfare needs.
No.
You just can't. But if you've got an imprinted young bird that's a member of the public has thought they're doing the right thing, and it's not in any pain, it's never known the wild because it was found as a baby, I think there is an ethical argument that says, well, you know what, can it live a decent existence in captivity? Well, it probably can.
And especially if you've got someone then that's got, if they're a social species, has got 3 or 4 of them together, then
potentially, yeah.
It makes a difference.
And it's a case of, there's a lot of people out there in wildlife rehab and care and the public which are very passionate about these animals, but also don't like the idea of euthanasia, which euthanasia is such a valuable tool, but you need to tread a line between keeping those people on side, but at the same time doing the right thing.
And the other thing I was thinking about as well is we always have to think about funds as well and space.
Mm-hmm.
And so if someone's keeping animals that ethically should be euthanized, that's taking up the room and the funds for another one that could be back in the wild and breeding again and helping.
And you think, well, what is the point? You're not doing anyone any favours.
And it's just making more work for yourself as well. And then the other thing we talked about, didn't we, that there might be other people out there who would like to get into rescue but can't do a huge rescue, but may be able to hand rear 2 or 3 birds at a time. And that would be really helpful.
If you could unite all of those people in a really positive way.
And we could give, if they obviously didn't know how to do it yet, but were keen, we could give training on that and link them up with other people who could then support them. So it might be that we can make a bigger sort of web of people network, in Hereford. And
then you've got things like soft release aviaries and things. Like a lot of people that I've really generalised. I don't want to come across prejudice, but you've got people that are doing wildlife rescue. Often they're so busy that making those connections and relationships to, I don't know, maybe with landowners to have a soft release pen or aviary for different species.
Where it
they just don't have the scope to do it.
We were saying, doesn't it? You don't need to know that much wildlife knowledge. If you say you had a release pen for gulls, where you've just got to go in and feed them once or twice a day, and then so we could do people that have got like either land or facilities to do that would be really useful as well. So just bringing people, you don't necessarily have to do everything like some of the wildlife rehabbers do, because it takes up a lot of your time. And then also taxi drivers as well for the wildlife. To go and pick things up. Or
Exactly. Although I did find there is someone who's tried to launch that. Well, I say tried, looks like they have launched it since 2020.
Yeah, I did.
Some sort of wildlife courier service. But then the thing is that they just do transporting.
Yeah, so they need to know where they're picking up and where they're taking to.
And then there was another, I think it's a charity. Let me just find out what the name of it was. Another place which essentially is a network of rescues and that sort of thing. But again, there's no ethical review or anything like that. So when I looked at the list of people that are on there, and it's a case of, I can see that there's lots of different people that are part of it. I can't remember what the name of it was now.
Whereas we could set sort of standards that everyone agrees with that they're going to keep.
That would be the idea.
And so then the vets as well feel confident releasing these animals once we fix them to the rescues. And also fundraising wise, we could all get together and have like a wildlife fete or like wildlife day.
British Wildlife Rehabilitation Council, and they do have a conference sort of thing. I might get in touch with them as well.
Yeah, and see how theirs works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be really good. It is giving yourself more work again.
Well, no, I compared it to, well, at least one of the people that I've reached out to, that I feel a bit like Nick Fury of the Avengers. Trying to group together a group of Avengers to like assist and do it. Yeah, that's
It'll be like Bat Lady, Bird Lady.
Exactly.
Swift Man.
Yep.
Maybe that's how we should market it.
Exactly what I'm thinking.
That's what the social media will
It's
be.
the Avengers of British wildlife.
And we can put what their superpowers are.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, get in touch.
That's a good marketing idea, actually.
Yeah.
It is a good marketing idea.
Hedgehog lady.
Yeah.
That would be really good.
Can you think who gets to be like, I don't know, Frogman? Like, there'll be someone out there that would love that title.
Yeah, Frogman. But that's it. People could just do as much or as little as they wanted to help then, couldn't they? At least if we just know who's available to help. Oh, if we can pull it off, it'll be really good. And I think people in Hereford would be really up for it as well.
Yeah, I might look at working with these guys because they've got some good resource on there, but their website does seem a bit out of date, and I don't know. I might reach out to them and see.
Well, it's always good to know because there's no point redoing everything if they've already got something in place. But we can either work with or copy.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, watch this space for.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows that I like a challenge.
It would have long term. It would pay off though, wouldn't it? Because we have to phone sometimes several people to try and find somewhere, or we just wait till we've got enough things together to send to Vale, and it's a lot of work. And then we've got the stray cat in at the moment as well, haven't we? Which is a bit of an odd story. So, he's a lovely old man.
So I'm going down a wormhole on my phone there, looking at resources and stuff. Right.
So was it when Thursday night? Yeah, Thursday night, wasn't it? Yes. Someone phoned us about 7:45 and we close at 8, saying that they'd found a stray cat. And it's one of our clients, and they'd been in Malvern, which isn't too far, well, about half an hour from us. And an old, very thin cat was on the road, on Wells Road,
he's probably
I think, in
thin.
Malvern.
I think he's very thin. But
he's pretty. But looks in good condition.
Yeah.
Anyway, they'd found him. So we scanned him for a chip, and he had a microchip.
Yeah.
But it was Bridge North, I think he was registered to. And he was found in Malvern, and then he was with us in Hereford. So we know his name's Oscar. He stayed here with us, because obviously we'd normally say if they're in good condition to put them back, but obviously we're in Hereford, they can't.
Yeah, I'm slightly regretting taking him in now, because I think he must be loved. There must have been someone who's looking after him there.
So we think he probably is a hypothyroid cat.
Yeah. And it is slightly annoying that he was brought all the way over here.
Yeah. Whereas
when we were closing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
so now, he's here. He's lovely.
He's
so
lovely.
chatty.
Yeah, he is lovely.
And
but then it's going to be one of those ethical dilemmas, because the industry accepted rule is we keep for 7 days or so, having made an effort to find the owner.
So we've contacted the vets in Malvern.
Yeah.
He's on Facebook.
Yeah.
He's been shared on some local Malvern groups.
Yeah.
And no one's
come forward. So.
But if it's making generalisations, if it's a more elderly person that isn't on social media and doesn't know how microchips work and things like that, that's our worry, isn't it?
Yes,
that it belongs to someone.
Then you'd hope that like a friend of a friend or someone would say.
Because he's so friendly and he's got different coloured eyes, hasn't he?
It's very distinctive, yeah.
So
But then the ethical dilemma comes when, what do we do when we've got this fairly old, decrepit cat in 7 days? So our policy would be we would probably blood sample at that stage to check thyroid and kidneys in particular.
Yeah.
Because it may well be that if he's not homeable,
then
we make a decision on euthanasia even. Yeah,
if he's got really bad renal disease. Yeah,
exactly. Because it wouldn't be fair to rehome him if he's just going to deteriorate and suffer. So we'll just have to watch this space and see.
And still just hope someone comes forward.
Yeah, hopefully someone will come forward, and either way, we'll be blood testing him at the end of this week anyway. I'm hopeful that if it's thyroid, it's not such a big deal, because we can resolve that,
hope it's just
and we can operate on that if we need to.
Because he was drinking a lot the first night, wasn't he?
Yeah, although that seems to have settled a bit, doesn't it?
Now, yeah.
It's if he's got kidney disease, really, that is the main thing.
Yeah, it's not something we can easily. You can't fix it.
You can't fix it, and that'd be a big ask for someone to take on a cat if they've got proven kidney disease. Because the other option would be that we just fob him off on someone, be like, "Oh, here you go, he seems lovely."
Yeah, And then he goes downhill.
And then he goes downhill and
causes them a lot of problems.
Exactly, and heartache.
So you can't do that.
So,
but he is lovely. Until then, he was getting lots of cuddles until yesterday when there was a lot of flea dirt appeared.
Yeah, so he's had some flea
treatment now.
But he'll come out for a wander around later.
Yeah, those fleas will be dead by this afternoon.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
He'll be safe to cuddle again.
Yeah. Yes, so fingers crossed we'll be able to find his owner, I would think. What else?
The RCVS?
Yeah, so the Royal College of Vet Surgeons in filming us on Thursday. So we had Jill McDonald from the Vet Nurse Futures Initiative, who you spoke to at the
AZEVN.
They need a better acronym. It's so rubbish.
It just needs to be the Exotic Nursing.
Yeah.
Because it's Association of Zoo Exotic Vet Nurses.
Why can't you call it ENA, Exotic Nursing Association? That's close enough, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if we're allowed to use nursing without the veterinary in front of it. Because I don't know. I think there
we're not going to nurse exotic people, are you? No, just someone got confused.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was here for to nurse exotic people.
So I met her first actually at the Veterinary Management Group conference.
Oh, did you? I didn't realise you met her then.
Yeah, because she was doing one of those round tables asking people about, and that's when I came back and said, "Oh, they're pushing vet nursing more. They want us to be doing more." But they were talking about boosters, and I said, "Oh, I don't know if we should do boosters." And you were like, "Why not?" And then from there, that's where it all kicked off. And then I did another one of those round table ones, but online through Vets for Pets. And Vets for Pets had found out that we could legally, under the guidance from the Royal College, do boosters.
Well, we were already moving.
Yeah.
Or maybe we even were already doing it that
stage
anyway.
Yeah, we were getting ideas. Well, no, we hadn't started, I don't think, but we'd read the guidance several times, hadn't we? And thought we could, and then it was just nice to have that backup. And then, so then I met her.
I know, I think I was all... Because in COVID, there have been times when practice were getting nurses to boosters.
Oh, okay.
So, I think it all happened at the same sort of time. But no, it was definitely... Because for me, I remember talking to people about it during COVID.
And then the Exotic Vet Nursing Conference, I just went up to her and said, "Oh, thanks, it really gave us a push. And now we're doing it and it's working really well." And she said, "Oh, I'm looking for someone to be filmed to see how it's working, how you did it, what the risks were of it, what the benefits have been." And so I said, yeah, that would be great. Because at the time you think, "Oh, yeah, that's fine." And then the day came that they were coming to film. I was really nervous that morning because they bought a 2-person film crew, didn't they? Like proper cameras, a boom.
Yeah, I don't think quite call it a film crew, but there was 2 people with 2 people with 2 cameras.
They were big cameras though. They weren't. I don't know why I thought they'd just turn up like with an iPhone or something. Yeah, but no, it went really well, didn't it?
Yeah.
We just chatted. And
I'm not entirely sure what they're going to use it all for, like where it's going to appear over the next few years.
The first idea was that she's going to go around carrying on doing these VN futures at different congresses and veterinary nurse things, and it will give them something to show, to give evidence. Because I don't think it's just us. I think there's another 2 practices.
Only another one, I think.
Oh, is it one? Oh, talking about...
And then one is going to do like online case studies or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then, they're going to show the surgical side of things as well that nurses do, and medical side of things. Just the things that, to push us further, really.
So it was interesting being filmed, so we'll see where that comes out.
Yeah.
Initially, they'd said they were going to be here for 4 hours, expecting 5 minutes of footage, but I think she was quite pleased that actually...
We're just used to chatting,
we're used to talking, so I think they got plenty. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, the weirdest bit.
Although you say that, but then like one of the interviews I did this week on the Times radio, I think it was.
Yeah.
I chatted to her for quite a long time. They put in like 30 seconds. That was rubbish.
It was the bit after.
It wasn't even the most interesting bit.
No.
But the bit afterwards.
They wanted to get some,
which we hadn't been prepared for.
No.
So, because otherwise I would have brought in some of my animals.
They wanted to
probably.
Get us doing some bits in practice just so they could play that in the background, I think. So luckily we had the blackbird that we were feeding. Yeah. But I felt a bit bad because it was actually our nursing ops day, so that our nursing team were actually doing all of the ops that day. And because I'd been in the video, and plus the other nurses didn't really want to be in the video, I was like, "Oh, can I just do this bit? Can I just do that bit?" And get filmed for it, but I wasn't actually doing any work. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they put together. So
yeah, I can't wait to see what it.
Yeah, I'm hoping they'll put some stuff on socials so we can share it as well.
Yeah, and give some other nurses some confidence and other practices to be like, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. But that's why I reached out to a couple of these other podcasts to go and talk about it as well. So, So between that and, we're getting closer to launching the artificial intelligence in practice as well, but that's just lots of stumbling blocks. So we'll get there with that. So
there's always several projects on the go, isn't
there? Yeah, I've always got lots of projects on the go. Yeah. Hopefully Wildside is going to be back on track with the clinic.
Yeah, booked our first proper day going out with it.
Yeah, maybe I'll tell Lindsay on that date actually.
Yeah.
Do you know what we need to do actually is we need to organise Alice to be free on that day to come and film it because
Alice.
because we want to do the so that we can film it and put it on socials and there's going to be some marmosets to vasectomise and I think some rabbits, which is not that exotic, but I think that would
be a nice one, the rabbits, because we're used to doing it here, but we'll be doing it in a new place. So I think that's a good one to start with.
Yeah, perhaps we'll warm up with some rabbit castrates and then do some marmosets.
And then do the marmosets after.
We'll see.
Yeah, and Jess, our new vet, doesn't know yet, but she's rated to go down that day with you as well. But I'm sure she'll love it.
She'll only be like 3 weeks in or something, won't she? 2 weeks in, I think.
I think she'll love it.
What date is the start date?
4th of August.
Is it really?
So it's not long now?
No, it's not long now. So that's still in progress. I think there's some filming going on down there actually, which I may or may not be involved in. I'm not sure whether Lindsay wants me there or not. I need to follow her up on that actually. Yeah. With some celebrities apparently. Can we do some filming?
Really?
Whether they'll be as famous as me or not, I don't know. But,
Who is it? Do you know?
I'm not sure I'm allowed to say. I know who one of them is, but Lindsay wouldn't tell me who the other one was. So
I want to know. I might come.
Well, the one that I know, you will definitely know who they are. I would say,
is it like animal-based person?
A household name is the one that I know.
Is it animal-based? Are they animal-based? Or?
I'm not going to give anything else away.
Oh, I can't wait till we can talk about that.
So that'd be interesting. But I don't know if I'll be involved with that. And even if I do have to go down there and look like I'm doing something vetty, it would probably be too boring to make the footage, I suspect.
I don't know.
Unless it coincides with anaesthetising something.
Yeah.
Actually, so we anaesthetised Blob the Bobcat this week, actually.
Yeah. I love that name, Blob, as well.
I can't see where he's going to yet because we need to wait on all his testing. But he is probably going to be going to another cat rescue, effectively. So he's a bobcat, and he was rescued by Lindsay and the team earlier this year as an extra one, which they weren't planning on, so had to find space for him last minute.
Oh, he's the one that they said, there's just this one left.
Yes.
They took all the mountain lions and then they were like, it was one that was going to be
so put him on the van sort of
one
job.
More big cat?
Exactly.
Oh, bless him.
So, so we sedated him, and that was stressful because they got him into a crush cage, so we injected him in the crush cage, which was fine, and just sort of accepted his fate then. And he went to sleep, but then was not that sleepy and then had a seizure. So we had to give him some more anaesthetic to make him go deeper, to control that, and so he was safe to work with. Did all the sampling, reversed the anaesthetic, and he wasn't really coming round. So we reversed some more of the anaesthetic, and then still nothing. So we watched him. We were there for quite a while until we had to go, Lucy and I, the nurse. But Lindsay then updated me later in the day and the following morning that he's doing all right. All back to normal.
And that's exactly what they said when I went to that exotic conference, that with the cats you can give 2 of the same species exactly the same drugs and they'll just react completely differently. They said it could be. But the trouble
with him is we didn't have an exact weight either.
No.
So we had to guesstimate his weight to start off with. But no, that was cool, and it's really nice to work with Lindsay and the team down there. So
and it's nice he's got somewhere to go now as well.
Yeah, exactly. So. He's well looked after there, of course, but it would be, even better.
He wasn't one they were expecting.
No, exactly. We're getting back to somewhere where he needs to be. So
shouting again.
Yeah, I know. She started chattering away down in the corner, isn't she? So it's not been that long since we've had her, but I'll feed her again in a minute. So I think that's a roundup of this week, really, isn't it? Yeah. I think next week is lined up to be pretty boring, to be fair.
Next Sunday,
we've got a vet student.
I'm going on holiday after next Sunday. So.
That's all right for you. We've got a vet student next week as well, so it probably will be boring because he's missed out on all the fun. sod's law.
Sometimes it's nice, though, if it's not too crazy when they're here, because you have time then to let them put IVs in, to help with everything, to get them really involved.
Yeah.
It's quite nice when you don't have to rush.
So we look forward to meeting her this next week. And I don't think I've got anything else too crazy planned. The next thing will be when Oona's ready to go.
Yeah.
And trying to make that work, getting her back to the wild. Yeah, right. I think we're rambling a bit now, so perhaps we'll wrap it up, shall we?
Yeah. Oh, and we've got to say thank you to Vets for Pets for sponsoring.
Oh, yeah, thank you to Vets for Pets for sponsoring as well,
Vets for
of
Pets
course.
Hereford.
Vets for Pets Hereford, yeah. Mate, that's what we need to aim for, is get a national Vets for Pets to sponsor us. Yeah. And I need to email marketing. I need to email marketing, actually. I've voiced it a couple of times, but I'm going to push it.
We need to get them to share our podcast.
Yeah, we need to get them to share our podcast, but also I want them to come and film us, documentary style. Got the bug now. I think we can make it work.
Yeah, I do.
And I think that would be starting point, is they come and film us doing stuff here.
Yeah.
And with Wildside,
yeah.
maybe some of the wildlife stuff as well as normal animals, because actually, if we didn't have any normal animals, we wouldn't be a functional business.
And I think it would be nice for them to get into other Vets for Pets and show what they do as well.
Yeah, so then I think
there's different specialisms and people doing really good stuff, isn't there?
Then one of us from here can then go and interview other joint venture partners, nurses, that
You'd
sort
like
of thing.
You could go and nose
I'd like
all
that.
The other practices.
I'm so nosy. I just want to go and see what other people do.
Yeah, that would be
so
good. We could pick up some tips then.
Watch this space. You never know.
I'm going to go and clean up my dirty hedgehog. It's made such a
mess. And your dead seagull pen.
I thought the hedgehog was dead yesterday morning, but it's rallied and made an absolute state.
Whereas the seagull that came in yesterday did die. But it was emaciated, it was very poorly.
And it had some fish before it went, and it was lovely cuddled up on a towel.
Yeah, and had loads of fluids. Well, I mean, it was brighter last night, wasn't it? It was brighter, so we gave it the benefit of the doubt, but yeah. So see what wildlife we're having today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dear. I don't know why we publicise it so much, really, some days.
I know.
Oh, but then,
it'll be nice if we get this hedgehog back out, because he is a chunk.
He just needs to get over his breathing issues, like lungworm stuff. So brilliant. Right, thank you for listening, everybody. I've been Elliot.
And I've been Becky.
And we've been the Vet with Pets podcast, and we'll see you soon.